Hello everyone and welcome to another video with me on Berets, and you know that new content days are always exciting, but this video is coming a little bit later just because really kind of had to think about this one. So yeah, what has been going on the JP side, as well as a little bit of a global update for my global viewers in this video, which of course there are more global viewers than there are JP viewers. Maybe one day that'll change when something huge happens on the JP side. But regardless, for now, alright, so before we get into talking about the new unit, let's talk about something that's really important that I think a lot of global players have been wondering about, and that is the return of Landu as well as Ramza shards in Part 2 of the Final Fantasy Tactics event. So currently Global is going through Part 1, but I know that a lot of people have been asking, well, what about these character shards? What about getting these characters? Because in the first week of the event, it was actually pretty much impossible to get new shards from them. There were 40 in the event shop, and that was about it. But in week 2 of this event, we are now seeing the return of these characters' banners. So here we got both a Orlandu as well as a Ramza banner, as well as a step-up banner for one guaranteed Ramza on step 3, a total of 6,000 paid lapis. But if you're just looking for the guaranteed Ramza, this is kind of, or should I say, this is basically just a repeat of what we had previously. But hey, if you are looking for a guaranteed Ramza, it is apparently showing up in Part 2, at least on the JP side. And if nothing else, you can pull on both of these character banners for either Landu or Ramza, which will have upgrades, as well as you can see the card is available there too. And not only that, but the shards are back in their respective shops for the medallions that you get, or the medals for pulling on their respective banners. You can get all kinds of shards for all the stuff that you were looking for from Part 1. But not only that, in the actual shop itself, you are going to find, guess what? The Whimsy shops, as well as not just the elemental shops anymore, but the Whimsy shops and the daily reset shops also have both Orlandu and Ramza shards. So great news for everybody out there. You can relax a little bit on the global side. Sorry for scaring you in the first week, but it is better to have been more cautionary and now give you the good news once it is confirmed, rather than just saying that, hey, guess what? Everything's totally fine. And then me being in trouble later. Yeah, that would have been bad. But that is not it. Currently on the JP side, we have a special holiday week. It is a series of holidays that works together to basically end up being something called Golden Week. And Golden Week is usually in Japan, you know, a big time when families go traveling, and there's lots of sales everywhere, and there's some special events that happen in things such as Final Fantasy Brave Exvius or War of the Visions, which is exactly what we're talking about here. So War of the Visions is going to be getting a free daily summon, and in that free daily summon, you're also guaranteed a little bit of gifts. So day 1, you're going to get 100 golden gill snappers. Day 2, you're going to get some stamina refresh potions, the big ones, 10 of them too, pretty nice. Day 3, 50 skip tickets. Day 4, some chocobo speed up tickets. And day 5 and 6, some select tickets for materials, as well as day 7 being a guaranteed UR orb. And you know what? Some extra benefits are super nice. Also, there was a kind of crossover event where we each got a free Lilith. So cool. And this is kind of interesting. There's going to be a bit of a Golden Week special sale. Each and every day there is going to be something different in a specialized shop. So if we go right here, as you can see, we have the half anniversary shop. Gotta say that there's basically nothing in here that I recommend that isn't just for gold. Most of the lapis deals here are pretty bad, but I gotta say that this is pretty awesome. So for 7 gold, you can get a whole bunch of gold awakening materials, and not only that, for 7 paid lapis, you get 10 EXP cubes, but more importantly, a free, or well, not a free, a UR orb. In terms of paid lapis deals, yeah, this is going to be absolutely awesome, and there was another 7 gold that gave you some skip tickets and whatnot. I'm sure that these will be repeated through the entire week. This one, particularly for 7 gold, is daily, so you might as well be buying those because skip tickets are awesome. But in the following days, there are going to be some more things that appear in these shops, particularly tomorrow, or about roughly 3 hours-ish from now. That is when there's going to be a special deal in the shop. We don't know how much it's going to cost and whether it will be paid or free, but it will include 40 select shards of the character of your choosing. Whether those include limited or not, no idea. I'll tell you when I find out. Or you can just, look me up on one of the Discords or whatnot, or message boards, and hey, maybe I'll be able to answer it for you. But yeah, that's not all, because currently on the JP side, there's also a big bonus, double the job points as well as double drops in all of Story. And if that's not enough good news for you, well, here's a little bit more. Try half stamina on basically everything Farplane. It is wonderful. Not only are there the daily job point ups, as well as all of the Final Fantasy tactics, new weapon farming, the Iron Giant trial, and the other hard weapon trial. All of this is half stamina, including all of this, and double drops on gold farming, double drops on EXP cubes, not double drops on all this, but still at half stamina, pretty darn amazing little deal. If you are looking to do your farming on the JP side, this is the time to do it. Holy cow. Lot that you can get done right now. And also for Final Fantasy Tactics, we have something called the Deep Dungeon, a new feature, well, a new-ish feature that is a collab event. So it is going to be limited time, and it basically looks and functions essentially like Tower. As you go down, things get more and more difficult, whereas in the Tower, as you went up, it got more and more difficult. Now, as you can go through, you will get some materials to do polls, awaken characters, and remember that characters' stats, including things such as lost HP, as well as ability usage counts, are persistent through the entire thing, and every 24 hours you can recover characters. You can also switch characters out between floors, and that will help you clear it. It should be, from what I have heard, pretty devious, with a couple of floors being just a ton of archers to take pot shots at your characters for a long amount of time, and the final floor being chocobos, which I've heard are a little bit nightmarish. Not there yet. A little nervous to be getting there. And there is also an EX stage for those of you who are looking for the challenge, with a whole bunch of enemies that are capable of just spamming charm and have evasion. So, enjoy kind of thing. But yeah, Deep Dungeon also, the maps are completely dark, and you can light them up by getting crystals. Haven't done the crystal thing myself yet, so I don't exactly know how it works, but I haven't found it totally necessary. I mean, when your units are moving, you can kind of see where stuff is, where they can go and whatnot, so it doesn't do a big thing. Otherwise, it just feels a little bit nicer than the Tower. The Tower was pretty unfortunate, because anybody who wanted the kind of exclusive equipment from it was pretty shit out of luck. But here, all you need to do is get to floor 6, and you can end up getting a UR piece of gear and an absolutely incredible sword for Agrius. It is an aim type weapon, and it has just really nice stats on it. I think it might even be good on some other characters, but provided that they can equip it. Haven't checked that yet. Oh well. But either way, very nice weapon for Agrius, who I am raising anyway, so cool. Alright, and last but not least, let's talk about the most interesting part of the update. Say hello to Idira, and Idira is exciting. She is actually really incredibly exciting for a whole bunch of reasons. Her kit automatically looks like it is just really awesome. It is a mix of DPS and support. She is basically a pure mage type character, and that is good because her stats seem like she will be very good at dealing magic damage. Not only that, but something else that I really like about her is that she also has a bit of weakness. Now that may sound like a weird compliment, but it's kind of nice that characters that have such incredibly cool features to them can also have a bit of a weakness, just because if they were all powerful, I think that's kind of lame. It's just, you know, we just made it all good. It's like, And her biggest weakness is that without protection, like physical protection from a tank with a hate card, she could die pretty quickly from a physical DPS. But again, I think that's okay. I think it's okay to have some weakness in your characters because it makes you think a little bit strategically, and this is a character that strategy is all about. Because yes, she does have some healing capabilities. Matter of fact, on the JP side, she is ranked very early as being the second best healer in the game, right behind Ayaka, but she is still considered to be the best water unit, and I do believe she came in at about the third place in terms of a magic attacker. Obviously, Kryl and Medina are super reliable. Both of them are capable of dishing out really good damage, and they are kind of just pure magic damage dealers, where this one has a little bit of tricks to her. But if you can use her tricks properly, then that's great. So let's take a look at all three of her classes. Her limit burst looks really great, I know, but let's take a look. So first of all, calculator or mathematician, however you want to call it, is her primary job. Her secondary job is spellblade, and her third job is, well, it's basically just black mage. And the recommendation on Ultima seems to be magic swordsman. The reason that they are giving out magic swordsman is because she doesn't have a easy to use TP ability for main abilities. It is recommended to use magic resistance, magic swordsman for AP accumulation in the early stages. That seems to be another thing, and that is why a lot of JP users are currently already putting her as that, but she still has some of her best abilities for a mathematician, so it shouldn't matter really. So what are the big two things? Well, the big two things about Idira is that her mathematician job is just really, really cool. It focuses on two features: the level of the character as well as the height of the character. Yeah, that's right, two forms. Now, for most of her abilities, she has either level 3 or level 4 boosts. If the enemy or target, I should say, because she also has healing spells, if the target has a multiple of 3 or a multiple of 4, she can get a boost on either her spell damage or healing. Not only just the level though, also the height of the character. So for instance, I'm going to bring up this about one of her healing spells. Now it is a recovers HP small, increases as the target's height is higher. So for instance, her magic recovery potency is about 120%, and the height times by an extra 4%. So if the character that she is targeting is 3 levels higher than her, that's an extra 12% on her healing. Doesn't sound like too much, but it can be the difference. It also means that her magic has a really good range on height as well. According to the ability, it is a range of height of 5, which is just really, really, really flexible when it comes right down to it. It also has good range outwards. I do believe it is about 3 range outwards, so 3 plus and 5 for the height means that she has a lot of range on that. She also has the same type of abilities but for damage as well, such as since she is a water unit, most of her attacks are water, but she has a water related ability, for instance, maximum magnitude. So it's 131 for height level 0, but 136% for height 1 and 147 for height of 3. Basically, the higher the enemy is, the more she is going to get an advantage on the unit, and that is particularly really cool. One of her strongest abilities, though, is her Holy level 3, where if the unit is a multiple of level 3, she will deal out damage. Now, originally, her Holy spell hits for about 160% attack, but goes up to a 215% attack if the unit is a multiple of 3. Now that is really interesting, because you're taking advantage of max level units in arena and whatnot. Any evade type unit like Venera really depends on having that evasion. Holy ignores evasion, and if it's a max level Venera, she's going to take more damage, and it's probably going to be an instant kill on a unit that the team is particularly depending on. Now, she also has level 4 abilities too, so such as her Water Gu. That is based around level 4, so if the enemy is a multiple of level 4, she will dish out more damage for that as well. And between the two of these, level 4 might seem a little bit weird, so she does have kind of a special ability. One of the abilities in her kit allows her to change any of her level 4 abilities into level 3 targeters. In other words, if it's a level 4 Water Gu, it will change to a level 3 Water Gu because she used the ability first, and then if it's a max level unit, then you will get the extra advantage of casting that Water Gu spell. Pretty interesting overall. I gotta say that I really like it. She has some abilities that can switch. In her Magic Swordsman, she has Bio Sword, Water Sword, not a super high amount of AP generation there, but does have magic resistance and Water Gu sword as well, and attract spell, so she has a good amount of abilities, some with range, some with not, and yeah, just generating her AP is going to be really important, and that's because that's what she uses for her attacking spells. As in terms of her Black Mage kit, pretty, I guess you could say, kind of unremarkable. Water, Bio, Drain, Sipple, which I don't know if that's exactly what it's called in English, Toad, Watera, Aspel, and she has a counter. But yeah, for the most part, Magic Swordsman and Mathematician are the abilities you really want, and I think she is really good at that. So yeah, she's already gotten just a super high rating because she can take advantage of units' max levels, not only for the enemy team, but also your team too. She's going to be a really good water damage mage and a overall just good potential support too. So I think that, yeah, I really quite like this unit. She is going to require a team that is pretty high level though. All level 99s would benefit from this, and all level 99 content will also benefit from this character, so this is probably going to be a pretty long-term value character. It is noted that and this is something that I don't know yet, is whether negative height, how that affects her abilities. I haven't noticed anything about it in Ultima, and I don't have the character yet, so I haven't tested it. But if it does work for negative height as well as positive height, I don't think that there is any downside to her. She just seems like a really good unit, other than, of course, that she is pretty brittle, so if you get her, make sure that you are protecting her. Alright, so yeah, and as for her TMR, HP, Spirit, as well as Critical too. Pretty nice little piece of armor on her. The HP will benefit her, and as well, the Spirit will protect her from magic. Doesn't really help her with her physical. And the ability on it, which I'm definitely just going to double check so I don't get it wrong. There it is. Swap the position of the enemy and yourself and set the CT of your own to 100. So that is pretty neat little ability just to change and potentially steal some time. It's neat. I kind of like the little ability, just a little switcheroo, Dark Magician from Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Dark Magician Girl style stuff from Yu-Gi-Oh! Either way, it's pretty good. And one last note, I do believe that it is recommended that her limit burst be turned off because you're probably going to be wanting using her, just her abilities. Not going to so much want the limit burst. The limit burst is generally nice. Increase the CT of your allies in range, increasing the effect of if the unit is a multiple of 3. Again, if you have a team of 99s, just a benefit. But you're probably going to be, it does use up 43 AP, and you're probably going to want to be using that for damage spells since she is primarily more a damage-based character. Alright, so I think I've said about everything that I want to say about her. Now, when it comes right down to it, it's time to do a poll, and we have a little bit of a special Moogle guest here today to do the poll. Mog, who normally loves doing Brave Exvius stuff, but didn't get to do anything for Neovisions when it came out, is going to be doing our one poll, because I like doing just one poll on any new banner to see if I can't get the character. Right, chances aren't good, but this is a story unit. We could potentially farm the shards later. I can get some of the coins and just get some of her character shards. I would not be sad getting her at all. She seems pretty darn cool. And she's Team Leo, so GG. All right, so let's give it a shot. Mog, all right, you ready? And click that button. Here we go. Silverbook. We don't like silver books, do we? Oh, and it's a card too. That's even worse. Unless it's the Chocobo. If it's the Chocobo, I'll take it. That is a lot of cards. We'll go through slowly. Why not? That's the wrong summon. I don't think there's going to be any miracles on this poll. No, there's definitely not going to be any miracles on this poll. Oh well. Yeah, a little disappointed. Kind of hoped that I could just get that luck and she'd just pop up. But you know, when it comes to War of the Visions, there's always the chance that you're going to get that character later, and you can still farm up that character later. There is a benefit on the JP side to getting the character pretty quickly if you are interested at all in them, because there is daily character shard quests that you can get by just farming, and that is a fair amount of extra character shards, and goes to making a unit a fair bit cheaper. But, you know, that's how it goes. So anyway, from me and Mog, hope you guys are interested in this new character. If you're interested on Global, maybe start saving just a little bit for her so you can try and get her later. Either way, really interesting design and pretty cool half anniversary. I was going to say 4th anniversary, but that's the other Brave Exvius. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you next time.